Hello chaps, and welcome to my build update number 3 for the Revell 1/72 scale Boeing B-17G Flying Fortress. This is my entry into the Revell We Dropped a Bomb group build hosted by me on the fan club page on Facebook. So we started off with decals. That's the decal sheet and all the things I need to apply those decals. I used Walther's setting solution. That's the port side wing upper side, the starboard side upper side wing decals. That's the front of the port side, showing Little Miss Mischief, the name of this aircraft. That's the port side tail end decals, starboard side tail end decals, and then this is the starboard side wing on the underside, showing the star and bar decal. That's a close-up showing lots of the little decals that go around all the engine cowlings. And following that, I taped up the 4 propellers, airbrushed the yellow tips on. I applied the decals onto those propellers, then sealed all the decals in with a gloss clear coat. That's the model, all decals done and sealed in, top and bottom. And then here's the 4 propellers with their decals sealed in. So I let the clear coat set overnight, and the following morning got my oils out and some odorless mineral spirits. I started off by mixing a raw umber wash, brush painted that all over the model, and allowed that to dry for a couple hours, rubbed it off with some kitchen roll, leaving some staining on to give tonal variation. That was followed by a pin wash, highlighting the panel lines with a dark grey oil wash. And then mix some champagne and raw umber to create a sort of beigey colour. And I applied that to all the large decals, allowed that to dry, and use that to make those decals look faded and dirty. Let's see, decals on the fuselage side, port side. That's the star and bar on the starboard wing underside. And that's the starboard side fuselage decals. I then took a semi-gloss clear coat and sealed all the bare metal work in with that. That's the top side, the underside. And then after that, I took a matte varnish, Galeria, and I masked over the areas of the bare metal around the coloured areas of the aircraft. Airbrushed on the matte varnish on the 4 props, then airbrushed it onto the coloured areas of the model itself. You see the masking tape there to make sure none of the matte goes on the semi-gloss bare metal finish. When that was dry, I then removed all the tape. I then filed flats onto the wheels, the main wheels. Put a black primer onto those flats, and also applied the primer onto all the peripheral parts that I glued onto some runners. When the primer was dry, I then brush painted the colours onto those peripheral parts that will be assembled at final assembly. They were given a gloss clear coat, and I was allowed to dry, then applied a dirt wash to all those parts. It was then on to doing some exhaust staining, so I coloured thinner with a little bit of black and a little bit of brown. Airbrushed that around the exhaust, give some exhaust staining, upper and lower. Then started final assembly with the main oleo struts for the undercarriage. Removed all the masking tape from the windows. Stuck on the 4 propellers, they rotate. I then stuck on the bomb bay doors with the bomb bay door actuators. I removed the temporarily located flaps and stuck in the flap actuators. That's the starboard side. And there's the starboard side flap in place in the down position. And that's the port side flap in the down position. That's the rear wheel strut in place with some dirt staining around that tail end of the fuselage. Some staining I put on the fuselage side there, and on the flaps there you can see some staining. That's the splash mud mixed with dark tan that I used to do the mud staining, and I applied that to the wheels, the tyres as well, dry brushed it on. And I used some coloured pencils to do streaking and some colour tonal variation, along with some raw umber and ivory black to do some streaking, oil streaks and stuff. That's the tail wheel now in place. The main undercarriage wheel's in place. That was followed by sticking in the two tail end Charlie guns, the two side fuselage guns, and then the upper dorsal turret guns. And they're the front end guns, two on the side and two on the bottom on the underside there. There's the underside turret, you can see more clearly there with the two guns glued in place now. And that's the ball turret on the rear underside. Following that, I stuck in that ray dome just in front of the bomb bay on the underside. And the last thing to do was stick in the vertical aerial there and then glue on the two antenna cables. So that's it for this update, guys. That's the model complete. The next update will be the final reveal. So thanks for following along. Thanks for all your comments. Much appreciated. And I'll see you at the final reveal. Until then, guys, tally-o, chocks away.